Hello again, everyone. This is the last of three videos on how to teach a Bible lesson. So today we're going to begin with the difference between maybe teaching children and teaching adults. So we just want to share screen right here real quick. Teaching children and then teaching adults. Teaching children. With teaching children, you only answer just what a child asks. Don't try to give a child too much information. Take, for example, when we were teaching the story about the woman that touched Jesus because she had an issue of blood and could not stop bleeding. A child may ask, what was wrong with her that she could not stop bleeding? You may then ask the child, did you ever have a nosebleed and your nose would not stop bleeding? And you went to your mother or to your teacher and asked them to help you? The child would probably say yes. They understood now. The child understood. You have answered the child's question. That's all they wanted to know. Don't try to add anything else. When you order Sunday school material or vacation Bible school material, make sure there are arts and crafts in the package. Children like to keep busy. Their attention span is not very long. They like to draw and they like to color. Now with teaching adults, it's a little more complex. You have to deal with the whole person. Respect every aspect of their personality. See them as social beings. They are used to being around other people. Also, adults are intelligent, and you got to be careful that you don't insult their intelligence because they are smart. They also, an adult is emotional. You got to be careful not to hurt their feelings. And the third thing about an adult personality is that they have a will. In other words, they have a choice. They want to make their own decision. They don't like to be forced to do anything. And another aspect of their personality is psychological. Now, the psychological is a mixing between the intelligence and the emotions of a person. Before a person decides to do something, they kind of think about it or turn it over in their hearts and minds, and then they come up with a choice. They express their will. Now, some people act with their intelligence more than others, and some act with their emotions more than others. They'll make a choice. They'll use their will, and then they will say, I did that because I thought, or they might say, well, I did that because I felt like it. And so, and sometimes it's difficult to tell why they made their choice, but it's their choice. Now, that's a combination of the psychological, of the intelligence in a person and the emotions in a person working together to come up with a choice to express their will. There's also a religious aspect of every individual. Now, some people have more experience with religion than others. Some have spent a whole lot of time in church, and some have spent very little time in church. but they all have some idea of God, and they all feel the need of God. Then there's the moral aspect, the good and the bad. This is part of people's personality. Whether or not they go to church a lot, have very seldom seen the entire inside of a church or Sunday school or an adult Bible class, they still know the difference from right and wrong. Now, we're going to turn to some points about controlling the classroom. The Bible teacher is just a facilitator, and they are there to keep things moving on in the class, to moderate by asking appropriate questions about the lesson, and to make sure that everybody or everyone do not talk at once. Some people come from different backgrounds and occupation. Allow each individual person to express how they see things unfolding in the Bible story from their point of view and what their life experiences tell them about this Bible story. Go around the class and allow each one a turn to speak if they wish. Keep things going. Don't allow one person to take up all the time. After each go round of the class and everyone was allowed to speak, move on to the next question or the next Bible verse. Don't allow anyone to swear or curse in the class. If they do it again, insist that they don't. Insist that they stop. Everyone's opinion is to be listened to. Don't allow one person to force their opinion on another, including your own as teacher. If anyone disagrees with the Bible, that's okay. The classroom is just to bring up what is written in the Bible. A person will have plenty of time later to let it sink in when they leave class. Okay, moving on. Now, the Bible passage that I have given for you to look at the answers to the question that this particular class I had gave about the good news and the bad news, and about the goals to have more faith in God and how to love people more. This passage or text is taken from the Gospel of Luke, the 17th chapter, verses 12 through 19. And you have all the answers to those 4 questions from the class listed there for you to review. Now, also included in the lesson is the method that we use that contain the 4 questions. The text, which has to be changed from Matthew to Luke 17. And the second part is to list all the bad news, what is wrong in this passage of scripture, who is the sinner, and then go on to the next set of questions. about the good news. What is the rescue? How was things taken care of? Then again, the last question, the goals. One goal is for faith, and the other goal is for living the Christian life. A, for faith. How does this Bible story help us to believe in God more? For living the Christian life, how does this Bible story help us to love our neighbor more? Now, I also included a set of the practice sheets here, and with the steps, and we're changing to Luke 17, and the Bible story is the healing of the 10 lepers, T-E-N, 10 lepers. So we make those changes. The next is, after we make those changes there and change the name of the story, this one was the paralyzed man. This one is called the healing of the 10 lepers, or the 10 lepers. And then you list all the bad news. And then this was part about listening to bad news. Step 3 is going to be about listing all the good news. Step 4, the goals for faith and life. And part 8 is, how does this Bible story help us to believe in God more? And you list all the things that help your faith grow from reading the story. B, for living a Christian life. How does this Bible story help us to love our neighbor more? Then you ask your class to list all those things. This is the method that we go through to help the class grasp an understanding of the Bible story. Now, last week I was saying if you needed more information, and I'm looking at this link here, it goes on. Now, right here, that's an underscore. It looks like a space, but it's an underscore. And over here, it's an underscore, and different underscores. But either way, you can go to Amazon.com and search for Cressman's Popular Commentary to get other choices, like both the Old and New Testament, and also they got used prices there if you want to economize. Now here is my set, and let me hold them up for you. Stop sharing right here. Here is my set. Here's Cressman's commentary. This is volume 1 for the Old Testament, volume 2 for the Old Testament. Then I got volume 1 for the New Testament, and volume 2 for the New Testament. Now, I'm recommending until you look it over and see how you like it, just get these two, volume 1 and volume 2 of the New Testament. You can always go back and order a copy of volume 1 and volume 2 of the Old Testament. So Cressman, I think his name is Paul Cressman, and his commentary, and it's good for lay people. They got commentaries that are more sophisticated and got a lot of language, Greek and Hebrew and German and all that stuff mixed in there. And you don't need that right now. You need to start off just looking at some things that might help you answer your questions more, but like the bad news and the good news and the goals. But mostly what you're looking for them to give you some background and also to help you pick out that main point. What's this Bible story all about? You got a title like the 10 lepers, but it goes in deeper and they will help you pick out other points that might be of interest to you. Now, this is a list here at the bottom, and let me just share that. We over here, and okay, we're down here. Okay, this is just a list of passages, and I didn't necessarily give you them in order, but we did do the woman who touched Jesus, and we did the paralyzed man, and I'm jumping down here to the bottom. You're going to work on the 10 lepers this time. And so basically that is how to teach a Bible class. The method, give answers to the 4 questions. What is the good news and what is the bad news? And to the goals for faith and for life. And the first one is to find the passage of scripture, the text that you want to study or teach, and also give it a name. And most of the Bibles, not most of them, I say that all the time, but in some of the Bibles, you will, when you start reading the passage, like you go to the Gospel of Luke, the 17th chapter, and begin to look at the 12th verse, and it will have a title up there, and it was called The Healing of the 10 Lepers. Now, a lot of Bibles don't do it. Some of the Bibles might, up at the beginning, they make a short list of what the verses will talk about down in the text, but you find your way around, and we're hoping that you get a chance to study more for yourself and better for yourself. And then when the occasion arises that you're asked to teach a Bible class, that you will have the courage and the opportunity, having studied and through prayer, you should do well. So those are the 3 classes, how to teach a Bible class. And then second one was lesson 2. This is lesson 3. So may God bless you, and goodbye.